Before we get back into the conversation, I want to share something special that's coming up soon. Every year around this time, I start thinking about the quieter parts of our work as CME professionals. The reflection between projects, the generosity we offer through our craft, and the way our learning accumulates in small, powerful ways. This December, I'm turning that reflection into something interactive. Starting on December the 1st, I'm hosting a 12 Days of Giving event. 12 days of CME writing inspiration, practical tools, surprises, and yes, one secret gift waiting at the end. It's a celebration of the work you do and the impact you make, even when no one's watching. If you'd like early access, and I promise you will want early access, join at alexhowson.com/12-days-interest. I'll make sure that link is in the show notes. You'll get a first look at each daily gift, plus a little behind the scenes peek at why this season matters so much for our writing community. Okay, back to the episode. If you're a medical writer who's trying to break into CME or trying to stabilise your footing once you're in, you've probably wondered, what does it actually take to grow? What skills actually matter? Where should I focus my energy? And how do you build a career that's sustainable, respected, and creatively satisfying? Welcome to Write Medicine, the podcast where we explore the craft, science, and business of continuing medical education. I'm Alex Howson, and today's episode is a year-end reflection, but not in a nostalgic sense. It's a roadmap, a way for you as a listener to see where other CME writers struggle, what has helped them move forward, and the kinds of support that actually shift a CME writing business. In this episode, I'm pulling back the curtain on a full year inside the WriteCME Pro community, what our members wrestled with, what they learned, and most importantly, what this means for you as you shape your own CME writing pathway. This episode is designed to help you see yourself in the experiences of others and recognise what's possible for you in 2026. This year, one of the biggest breakthroughs in our community was clarity. Not just about writing skills, but about how CME actually works. Members weren't asking, how do I write learning objectives? They were asking questions like this. How do providers make decisions? How do clients make decisions? What do freelance writer hiring managers look for in their writers? Where does the funding come from in CME and why does that matter? How is patient voice shaping CME activity requirements? And how are outcomes evolving? These are the questions we break down in group coaching and move you from guessing to understanding the system you're working in. And if you're listening and you feel like you're on the outside looking in, that's totally normal. But understanding how CME really operates is what turns uncertainty into confidence. In WriteCME Pro, we see writers claiming their professional identity. And one of the biggest trends in 2025 was a collective shift in self-perception. Many members arrive in WriteCME Pro feeling like outsiders, hoping they can make CME work. But over time in our community, they begin to say, I run a real business and I get to shape how that business works. And that shift changes everything because members learn how to hold boundaries without defensiveness, set fees that reflect their expertise, navigate scope creep with clarity, handle delayed invoices without panic, and design workflows that support calm and not chaos. And if you've been navigating these challenges alone or trying to figure out everything through trial and error, know this: none of these skills are intuitive, but when we practice them in community, they develop faster and with more confidence. This shift in self-perception also shows up in the writing itself. We ran several workshops and sprints in 2025 where I saw members expand their creativity and technical capacity. We explored new formats and became much more fluent in whiteboard animation, story-driven video and audio scripts, mastering manuscripts with confidence and clarity, interactive patient cases with authentic narrative heart, and root cause analysis anchored in data and clinical practice. And here's the takeaway for you. You don't grow your writing by grinding harder. You grow it by strengthening your foundations. Another strong trend in 2025 is that WriteCME Pro members began treating well-being as a professional competency. Across coaching calls and workshops, it became clear that clarity improves with rest. Boundaries sharpen our creativity. Nervous system regulation reduces overwhelm. And pacing leads to better learning design and content development. Because CME writing is cognitively heavy work. And if you've been burning out, doubting yourself, or drowning in deadlines, there's definitely a solution. Because when we're resourced and grounded, everything gets easier. Decision-making, client communication, creative flow, and even the courage required to ask for the rates you deserve. Another inspiring part of this year was watching WriteCME Pro members step from uncertainty into visibility. I think specifically about the first group that joined WriteCME Accelerator in January, a bunch of talented writers who still had that nagging voice whispering, "Am I really ready for this?" But over the year, they built polished strategic CME portfolios, clarified exactly where they fit in the CME ecosystem, moved from invisible to visible, and started showing up on LinkedIn and other spaces with authority. And if you're listening and wondering whether you can make that shift, yes, of course you can. Because when CME writers are surrounded by support and structure, their confidence accelerates. And this is one of the trends that surprised and delighted me most in 2025. WriteCME Pro members built a community that most professionals only dream about. And in fact, the most extraordinary transformation this year wasn't about writing skills or business skills. It was about generosity. Because members shared templates, scripts, client referrals, hard-won lessons, and emotional support in our community. They collaborated, they problem-solved, they helped each other through discovery calls, challenging clients, and new project deliverables. And this matters for you as a listener because so much of CME writing happens in isolation. I know it, you know it, but when CME writers find a place where learning is shared and growth is collective, we move faster, we feel safer, and we're more willing to stretch into higher level work. And if you've been craving a professional home base where people understand what you do and want you to succeed, this is exactly what we're building in WriteCME Pro. So all of these trends point to a simple message. You don't need to do this alone, and you shouldn't have to. In 2026, we're expanding support for CME writers at every level. An advanced mastermind for experienced writers in our community. Practice labs focused on qualitative data, root cause analysis, writing test questions and outcomes reports. A referral pathway with industry partners. And continued coaching, templates, community support, and business strategy. And a fall in-person retreat in Mexico in September, for which you can snag a huge early bird discount if you're part of our 12 Days of Giving event. And if you're not, it's not too late. Just subscribe to Write Medicine Insider to get on the secret list at alexhausen.kit.com/podcast. If the trends you heard today hit close to home, if you're tired of navigating CME alone, if you want to build your business with clarity, confidence, and community, I'd love to support you inside WriteCME Pro. If you want a place where your work can deepen, your skills can grow, and your career can expand in a way that feels sustainable, consider this my invitation to you. You can learn more and join us at alexhausen.com/write, that's WRITE-CME-Pro, or by following the link in the show notes. So thanks for listening, for learning with me, and for caring about your CME writing craft. Until next year, keep writing with clarity, keep learning with curiosity, and keep showing up for the business you want to build.